Hello and welcome. We bought a Lance 2185 travel trailer. If you're interested in seeing the trip of when we went and picked it up in Washington from Utah, then click on this card up above and that will show you exactly what that trip was like. We are now on our very first trip with this trailer. We've gone down to Goblin Valley State Park and we are in the BLM land just west of it. This is our shakedown trip. It's our first time taking the trailer out and trying all the different features that it has. And I have big plans for this. I'm going to be adding solar panels and batteries and switching out propane components to run off of electricity, etc. I wanted to make this video to not only show the features that we start with, but also to just demonstrate for people in general what the 2185 has, at least the one that we got. This is a 2019 model. And so let's get started. Starting here at the beginning of the trailer, let's start at the tongue. We have a electric jack on it. It has the manual fitting here on top so that you can retract or extend the jack if you don't have electricity still. Right here, we do have this big old lock on the receiver, but this is a 2 5/16 inch ball. And then this is the wiring, the 7-pin for the trailer light wiring. And this is the controls for the jack. This is to go up, this is to go down. If you press 3 times and then hold it down on the third, it will completely retract. If you press and hold both of them and hold, it'll go back to a set memory height. So that's really useful. This has the 3 5-gallon propane tanks with the regulator up here in the front and this cover for that. And it has some outdoor lighting right there and a window. I've pulled out here already the one of the batteries. It has 2 interstate deep cycle batteries. These are antiquated lead acid battery technology we'll be replacing. And actually all the batteries are going to be inside under the couch, and I'll show you that next. So this cavity we'll be able to use for storage later. And this is on a nice slide out tray like that. And there's another one on the other side, which I'll show you when we get over there. This is the pass-through storage. And in here it does have some courtesy lighting here that is motion detecting. This is the battery disconnect, and then it has some light switches for the front. So when you turn that on, there are some accent lights right here that it turns on. Also here on the front is the stabilizing jacks. So I can turn this on or off, and then it will extend or retract the 4 stabilizer legs. These 2 extend and retract switches on either side are for this side of the RV, and then there's another panel like this on the other side for those stabilizer jacks. Now this trailer by default comes with a table that it has a holding mechanism, and ours didn't have it when we got it. The prior owner apparently took it out. So this is what we have. Now coming out this way, we have the 1 slide out on this trailer, and it did come with the slide out topper, and then it has the roof rails, but we'll go up there next. And here's some additional accent lighting that it has. It also has the storage here that is underneath the bench that is inside the RV. It's a pretty good amount of storage here. Underneath that, we have the freshwater tank dump. We have the X-Chocks here holding it steady. And then over here, we have the gray water on the left and the black water handle on the right. Just above that, we have the outdoor shower. And then we have the satellite TV connection point, which we'll probably never use. Here is the electrical shore power plug, which I'm going to be replacing. This is a 30 amp, and we'll be upgrading this RV to a 50 amp. And then we have the freshwater inlet plug hose. This is for a campground plugged in to continuous incoming fresh water. And then this is to flush out the black water tank. Also over here is the outside of the furnace. So we don't really have to do anything with that. And potentially I'm going to be taking that out though, because we'll be replacing it with a HVAC mini split system. Over here we have 2 windows. This is for the 3 bunk beds that are in the back of this RV. The lower bunk doesn't have a window, but what it does have is over here on the side, or on the back, it has its own door. And so in this door you can see the middle bunk, which is this one with the green sleeping bag, and then there's a lower bunk here. And this bunk here, if you take the pad off of it, this whole thing will actually fold upwards. It folds back against that back wall, And then you can use this as a garage area and load a lot of gear. And you can see it's actually pretty large in here. A full grown adult can easily sleep in here. This bed right here, the lowest one, is hot though, because this is where the vent is for the furnace here in the back area. So it gets kind of hot potentially. And then this one does have an accessory trailer hitch, which we are currently utilizing for our bike rack. Also here in the end of the bumper is the stow area for the sewer hoses. And then there has a ladder on the back and the backup camera. Now this backup camera is nice. I actually just use it when we're driving forward just to see who's behind me. This is the water heater here on the back. I just have that opened up so I can kind of show you where it is. Now let's go up on the roof. All right, so here's the roof. We have this vent, which is right over the top bunk. This vent, which is the bathroom exhaust fan. And then this is the skylight for the shower. So that is directly over the shower. Over here is a plumbing vent, which is for the bathroom sink. Over here is the vent for the fridge. And then here is the TV antenna, which I actually just took off this morning because it was casting shadows on the solar panel, which I'm going to be leaving this off anyway. We're going to have solar panels over the whole roof, and we'll be removing that solar panel. Here's another plumbing vent for the bathroom below, which is the shower and the toilet. And then this is where the TV antenna was that has been broken off. Then here's the air conditioner compressor, which I will be removing to make room for solar panels, and we'll be replacing it with a much more efficient heat pump mini split. Then we have a skylight here that's just in the general living space, and then another skylight ventilation duct there, which is over the master bed. And then it also came with these luggage racks, go across there, which can hold 500 pounds of gear, but I'll be probably using those for solar panels. So this is what the whole roof area looks like up here. And then also while we're up here, we can see the top of the canopy that goes across the whole side of the RV on that side. Okay, let's go back down. Here on the back, there is another light for illuminating the whole back of the RV here. And then here on the side, we have the back door. And this goes into the back part of the trailer, which this is where the bathroom is, and then this is where those 3 bunks are. And then right here is a vanity area with the bathroom sink, which has this nice fold-up tray. We'll see that again when we go inside the RV, but let's continue around this side here. This is where the back of the refrigerator is, and I'm probably going to be replacing this with a 12 volt or 24 volt DC refrigerator because they have more space, and I don't want to deal with propane, and I want it to be able to run directly off of the batteries without the inverter being on. It also has some speakers here on that side and over here. And then this is the hood vent for the stove top, and then we have another light here. Down here there is a DC power port and a 12 volt power socket. And then over here is the 120 volt regular AC plugs, which these only work right now if you have a generator running or if you're plugged into shore power. These work from the batteries that are on board. This is the fresh water fill to fill the freshwater tank. And then I have the X-Chocks here, and this is just the cover for the fridge that I took off to show you that. This is a mount for mounting a TV out here, and then you would power that from this 12 volt socket right there. And then here is the front side door, and then over here is the other side of that pass-through storage. This is the other side of those stabilizer legs down here, and then this is the second 12 volt battery. Also here on the front right of the trailer is a solar on the side port rated up to 20 amps. It's got this little connector just like that. We may never use this, but we'll see. I might experiment with it someday. But we're planning on having a ton of solar up on the roof, so we probably won't need it. And then we're back to the front, and that's everything pretty much on the outside. And here's the underside of that canopy. Something else to point out is it has LED lighting across this strip all the way along, which I can turn on by coming inside. This red switch is what runs those lights. While we're here, this is also where you turn on that awning, and then this is where you retract it or extend it. And one thing to note is that it does occupy the same space as the door. So the door has to be completely open or closed when you open the canopy or close it. Here are some mood and courtesy light switches for the overhead lights right here. And then here are some patio lights. This is the slide out control. So this slides out the slide out, that is this whole seating dinette area here. All right, so let's start here in the front area. So this is where that front door is. It has a window there that does open, has a crank there to open it. And then over here is the nightstand for this side of the bed, which has AC ports here and then light switches for the lights there. And then it has a nice drawer here. And then we have here half of the bed, and then there's a couch here. So the way this works is basically you just lift up on this, and this goes flat just like that, really simply. And then we can just take this mattress and flip it over. And just like that, with one hand even, it makes into a queen size bed. And then on this side, it has the nightstand as well with another drawer. And then above that, it has the closet, which is actually pretty deep down here at the bottom. And then it angles upwards with the front of the trailer. And then this side has the same thing. Then we have the front window here. And it has some nice shades that you can pull down. And this is more of a blackout type shade. And it connects down here at the bottom with the underside. And then you can pull it back up. And this is a lighter shade. And then you could even vary them in between, like that. And then there's an unlock switch right here that you can separate them to have it be completely open. Above that, it has a little accessory shelf here. And I'm going to be building an additional shelf that will be just beneath that. And this is where we're going to hang the indoor portion of the mini split heat pump. And actually, as a side note, the outdoor part of the mini split, I'm planning on having it up here on the tongue of the trailer. We'll take this cover off and just leave it at home. There's 3 propane tanks here. This front propane tank right here, I will take off and we'll leave it at home. And that will leave enough space from about right here to here. And that's where we will mount the outdoor portion of the mini split heat pump on the tongue of the trailer here. Okay, so here, oh, I forgot to mention there's a fire extinguisher right there, and there are some hooks for keys or whatever, and as well as some AC outlets right there. And here on the edge of the kitchen counter is another shelf. And I'm going to flip the bed back, and here on the front of it, you can pull, and there's a little bit of Velcro holding this. And this is a storage compartment. And the storage compartment goes all the way across the whole width of the couch, of course. These two things down there, those are actually the armrests of the couch, which we don't really use most of the time. This whole storage area is going to be full of batteries, inverters, solar charge controllers, electronics, and things like that when I'm done with it. All right, so continuing around the side this way, we have another window. These are a couple of light switches for the outdoor lights. We have the heater control here and air conditioner control as well. The air conditioner will only work when you're connected to shore power, as it is right now. Another AC plug, a couple of magazine holders. This down here is the controller for the slide out. We have another heater vent down here for the furnace. And then we have the dinette. Now, there are these 2 big drawers here. They have these latch mechanism, you push that, and then this comes out. That's quite large. And then on this side is another one. That's how deep it goes. So it pretty much goes the depth of the cushion from here to right here. And then that back part is the outside storage. This table will transform. We can take the tabletop off, take this center post off and just lay it down. And then this tabletop rests on these sideboards right here on either side. And then we remove this cushion right here. And then we can move this cushion over. And then this back cushion comes down. Repeats on this side, this bottom scoots over. And then this back part comes down. And this is an area where 2 people could sleep. Has a nice light over here above. And there's a button, on-off button right here. Or on this side is a dial to make it brighter or dimmer. There's some nice accent lighting up above. Here's the smoke alarm. Here's some speakers. So there's 2 speakers right there, and that's zone A for the dinette. And then there's 2 speakers over here, one right there and one right there. And that's zone B. Okay, so then coming around this side, we have the 32-inch DC, 12-volt DC TV. And so that will work even if you're not connected to shore power. It does have the TV antenna that goes up here, and that's the controller for it. We're probably not going to use that because we'll probably just get Starlink, and then we will be able to just use the internet for any TV we may want to watch. Over here is a stereo FM AM radio and has a DVD player slot here. And this TV has a mechanism back here, a little string you can pull down to unlock it, and then you can pull this TV out. And I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, there you go. You can tilt it either direction, and it also has a little lever right here that you can loosen, and then it allows you to tilt the TV forward like that, so you can tilt it down. Behind the TV here, it has an AC outlet, and then here it has a 12-volt power socket, and then here's the antenna plug. And right next to it right there is a button, and that turns on the satellite amplifier on the roof. And then right here is a 2 HDMI ports, and that's what connects the TV to the DVD player down below. And this is that latch mechanism that locks it so that when you're in transit it doesn't move around. There's a tray here that you can store some odds and ends, and then just below the TV down here is a cupboard for storing DVDs or anything else you may want to have in there. This is the return air duct for the furnace right there. And then coming around over here we have the kitchen. So this is the fridge. So this is how big the freezer is. We only have a little bit of ice cream in there. It does have a set temperature setting dial right here for low, medium, high, and we have it on the highest right now. And here is a bottle of water we put in here, and it's completely solid, so it's good enough for doing that right now. And then this is can switch between AC power or propane. And then here is the fridge, and so that's about how big it is. It has a tray down here, but like I said, we'll be replacing with a DC fridge, and it won't have these fins anymore. And then it also has some door trays there. We have one solar panel on the roof, and right now it is showing 12.4 volts, 0.8 amps, and 70%. We've seen this fluctuate quite a bit because lead-acid batteries don't hold great voltage, and it has peaked at about 7-8 amps. Then down below is the control panel for various things. This is the water pump to turn that on and off. This turns the water heater on and off. This switch is for gas. This switch is for electricity. And then here we can press these buttons and see how full these tanks are. So this shows how full the freshwater tank is, gray water tank, black tank, and the battery charge. So kind of redundant with what's up here. And then here is some galley and soffit lights for this area. And then right here is the microwave, which only works when you're plugged into shore power currently. And then here we have some switches for the light over here at the stove, and a fan as well. And then this is the stove itself. It's a 3-burner propane stove, and we will be replacing this with an electric and induction cooktop. And then this is the propane oven. Well, down below that is the electrical distribution panel, and you can see on the left it has the AC circuits, and on the right it has the circuit breakers for the DC circuits. And then just to the right of that, we have a carbon monoxide detector. All right, to the left of the stove is these cupboards. On the right side of these cupboards, it has these nice trays that you can actually just completely pull out, and you can take them outside of the trailer if you wanted to, or anywhere. And there's 3 of those, and then on this side it has 2 shelves for storage of whatever you may want. Now, down here behind this bag is the 12-volt water pump, and this is where it has the valve that you can turn to put antifreeze in here to winterize your system. It has another set of AC outlets here, and then has the kitchen sink. So here we have the boards that cover half the sink on either side, and it's a nice undermounted sink, if you can see that. Here's a nice residential style faucet, and it even pulls down. It has the sprayer on the end. And then up above that, it has a tray for spice racks or plastic bags and bananas as we have it. And then up above that is just yet more storage for probably food items. This upper shelf is loose. You can take that out if you wanted to. Up above, there is an AC power port there. That is what powers the microwave right next to it. Now, something that we have special on ours is we have a paper towel holder here. This is what came with the RV. The previous owner installed that. One thing I forgot to mention is just here to the side of the electrical distribution panel, or the oven, is this storage compartment. And this is kind of a little different. It's the underside of the fridge, and it's got this is where you can access a number of electrical things. You can see down there, that's the back side of the outside electrical and TV panel. But it does have a little bit of extra storage room available right here in the front area. All right, so that's everything here in the front of the RV. And this is the general open concept kind of living area. So let's move on here into the back, which I've already shown you a little bit of. Now this door, which is for the bathroom, we can actually open this and swing it around, and then it has a magnet that holds it in place. So we can keep that back area closed off when the kids go to bed at night. We can have the lights on and be in here. And then over here we have the vanity sink. So we have beneath it, we have the under sink storage. And then up above here, it's just the regular sink with a nice faucet here. Here's 120 volts and another bathroom switch for the bathroom here. And then this is the vanity area. So this is where toiletries can be stored. To the side of the sink, we have 2 towel rings here, one there and one there. And then up above them is a couple of things. We have, this is the magnet, that's the stopper for the door to stay closed this direction. We have a hook here. We have AC power ports, DC 12-volt port, and then a coax cable to the TV. And then this is a HDMI to satellite. So what this is designed for is you could have another TV mounted here and you could power it and be getting signal to it, etc. We probably will never use it for that. So then over here we have storage cubbies for the kids. And so up here we have a towel rack and then a bunch of stuff down here. And then down here, the lower one, it is not quite as big. It does have several hooks on the sides. And then down below this is where the water heater is, and this is how you access it to winterize it and maintain it, etc. So this is a board that slides up, and then there's the valves and hoses and whatnot for that. Now over here on the beds, this is the skylight that's over the top bed, and then also it has the window down there at the end. The next bunk down also has a window like that, but the third one down does not. And that's the door that goes outside. And on this side, this bunk does have 120 volt power port, and then it has a light there, and this bunk also has a light, and this bunk also has a light. Now this upper bunk has attached to it a ladder. So here's just a Velcro strap. This comes down, and this is a ladder for the kids to use. They don't need it really, but they do love playing with it. This ladder is not original. The previous owner installed that. The normal way that Lance has this set up, you can see that there's 2 screws here, 2 screws here. They normally have some mounting brackets there. And then over here in the bathroom, they have normally right here mounted on the wall a ladder hanging, and so normally you would take that ladder and put it over here, but I think this is a much better solution actually. So this is the bathroom, and over here on the floor is a vent from the furnace, toilet paper holder, the toilet there, and then a towel rack there, and then here is the shower in general. Pretty standard, and then it has that skylight over it to give additional overhead space. Now there are some hooks here, so there's 2 right there and 2 over here, which is awesome. And then it also has this, which is a clothesline device. So you can pull this out, and then on the opposite side over here is the receiver for it. So that goes in like that. And now you have this clothesline going across that you could be hanging swimming suits or towels or anything you want to have be wet and dripping in the bathroom. Over here it also has 2 additional hooks. This is the smart fan. So over here it has a speed control knob, and then here it has the temperature control knob, so you can have it turn on and off automatically, and then this is the knob that opens and closes the outside cover. One last thing here in the back area is there is another hook down here for keys or whatever, and then the same on this side. I hope this has been interesting, seeing exactly what the Lance 2185 has in it, at least our model of it. If you have any questions, feel free to post those in the comments down below. And if you're interested in seeing the video about where we are right now, which is in the Goblin Valley area, I'll put a card above that goes to that video, so you can see exactly what this whole area is like. And with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe to our channel and you'll get notified automatically when I upload new videos, especially the Goblin Valley trip that this video is from, as well as other trips that we've already experienced in the last couple of years in our Tesla Model S, or going forward in the new trips in our Lance 2185. Lucy, what did you find?
A little seat.
Oh, cool.